Hey, welcome back. Glad you could make it for some more Age of Empires here. This is one of my ranked placement matches. So we're figuring out where I'm going to fall in the rankings with these 5 games. I'm playing up against Toral Fox, who's playing as the Chinese, and I'm playing as the Abbasid Dynasty. And we're actually on a new map. This was a new map added to the ranked matchmaking, and it's called The Pit. Few features to point out. One is that it's fairly open. You'll notice there's not too many choke points from what I've scouted so far. Other features to note, it is symmetrical. So it's pretty much the same on both sides. There will be maybe some minor differences, but you'll see a consistency in the map. Another thing you'll notice, a huge wood line at the back of the base, as well as on the sides of the map. So wood is easy to come by. I mean, you'll chop this wood line for pretty much the whole game. Another thing to note, a big dip down here. This is the pit. It's filled with stealth forests, a sacred site, and 2 large gold deposits. Control of this area will be crucial, but you'll be very vulnerable because you can get attacked from these high ground cliffs up here. We're scouting out our opponent, checking their gold and food supplies. We want to see when they're going to age up. Looks like they actually went for the nearby wood line right here, and that's pretty early, very early for a Chinese player. Usually they don't really get their lumber camp up and running so quickly. We're going to age up here. I was bringing a villager forward, but 2 wolves started to attack. My idea was to put a outpost down on the wood line there. I'm bringing my scout over to try and help. At least I think I should. There we go. I'd love to draw aggro here, but I think, yeah, my villager's just going to get mauled to death, so I'm probably going to have to cancel this outpost. Get my wood back, but I could use the wood. We're actually going to put down a archery range, and we'll pump out a camel archer. I'm seeing an Imperial Academy, and I'm seeing only a little bit of chopping on the wood line. I'm saying to myself, it's pretty wide open. He's kind of split up where he's gathering resources. He's gathering wood here. He's not gathering wood here just yet. He's gathering a lot of food and gold here. So I'm thinking maybe we can get a outpost down here, harass it with some units, and then put some outposts over here and harass it with units. I don't want to just immediately sprint to another town center because I always worry about the Chinese. They can macro and gain a big economic advantage very quickly. You can see he went with the Imperial Academy. New change for the Chinese. We can talk a little bit about what changed for the Chinese because a lot was overhauled. But the first thing is you can actually make Imperial officials from the Imperial Academy, which is really helpful. Usually the Chinese have to produce them at their town center, but now you can produce them from this landmark. So you can continue your villager production without having to spend time producing these Imperial officials. Opponent wisely putting an outpost here. I'm going to target his stone here because I'm thinking he's going to have villagers mining. But as you can see, we're doing kind of a 2-pronged attack. We're sending another villager out, hopefully not going to get mauled by wolves. The camel archer's coming forward, but he already has an outpost here, so my time is kind of limited. I was hoping to get 1 villager kill. Don't think I got it there. We have to retreat because we're taking arrow fire from the outpost. More wolves, but this is looking like it might be a little bit more successful. We're going to harass villagers with my scout. Looks like he's wisely retreating that villager, but I don't think he's paying attention to these villagers down here. We're going to get a kill. And it looks like we might get more. Scout's just kind of running around. Looks like I was able to save him. Well, this archer is not in the right spot. I'm going to lose him there. And he's still mining stone. He definitely wants to expand, get a second town center going, but we're getting really good villager kills here. Oh, would love to get this last one. Oh, but he's retreating into the village. Smart. Hoping to target down this Imperial official, but he can retreat it into the outpost, and I'm realizing that, and now we're going to run away with our archer. But he has all of his food and gold pretty much in this screen right here. The berries, the sheep, these deer, and his gold mine. I'm hoping to put pressure on in this area. So you can see I'm kind of bringing my troops along the backside here, along his wood line. We are going to get some outposts down. Maybe one like right here to deny the gold. And nice. Camel Archer's already at work on his gold miners. Oh, that's going to be another kill. We're up to maybe 5 villager kills now. Hoping to get up to 6. And I spot the low health Imperial official. I'm trying to get him, but I think he's going to get away. We'll just work on the villagers. 'Cause that's like 6 villager kills. At least 5. Not paying attention. I think I'm going to lose my Camel Archer here. Yeah. Unfortunate. But we are getting the outpost up. That's going to be very annoying. And he hasn't put down a military structure yet. That's his big problem. It looks like he's just out of wood. He doesn't have enough to make another lumber camp because he spent it all on this second town center. I'm bringing my archers around, but it's not looking good. This is a very defended area over here. These are both upgraded outposts. I don't think my archers are going to do anything. Back here, however, this is looking pretty successful. Like what's going on here. We've completely denied the gold. The only other gold I'm seeing is here. I've got a scout parked on it. So he's just kind of trapped and unable to make his unable to get his gold production up. I'm looking to get another town center. I do have my full suite of military structures, but mostly I'm using them to do maybe a ram push. He still has yet to make a military structure. So I'm deciding we should probably keep up the pressure. And this is great right here. These archers are getting more villager kills. Oh, we should really target the Imperial official. No. Looks like I sent them up to try and attack the villagers that are building this Barbican of the Sun. Oh, nice. Target that villager down. Cool. I think we're going to get up to maybe like 7 or 8 villager kills here. Wow. Yep, we got another there. Oh, and we got the Imperial official. I didn't even notice. Wow. That was a big pickup there. Gonna encroach on the deer up here. Would love to get an outpost, yeah, on all these deer. I still don't see a military structure from him. There it is, a stables. Of course, over here, yeah, we're gonna start a ram. We're wisely targeting his second town center. Don't go for the first town center over here. It has way more health. Go for the second town center. It's more vulnerable. There's our second town center. I'd like to think we are fairly close on our villager count. I mean, we did get a few kills. The problem is he's now in the Song Dynasty, so he is producing villagers faster. Thing is, I don't know where he's going to be gathering with all of his villagers. Right now, all he can really do is gather wood up here at this wood line, or food from these sheep here. Maybe these deer, but I wouldn't risk it, especially with my outpost sitting here. Yeah, and I'm going to put an emplacement on it. Me seeing him just kind of cornered in his base makes me think he's going to have a slow transition to the Castle Age. So even if this ram rush doesn't, or this ram push doesn't go well, I can just retreat and look to maybe play up in the Castle Age. Oh, he is retreating his villagers into his town center. And these horsemen do extra damage to battering rams. So this is really painful. I like this engagement here. I like that the spearmen are stabbing down horsemen, but I don't like how this is going in general. This outpost is proving pretty effective. We're going to back off. Besides, he's going to have to deal with all of these outposts, which are getting free kills like that Imperial official. Wow. That's an expensive unit. 100 food, 50 gold. I didn't even realize we had gotten that. So now I feel like my aggression is kind of at an end. We're going to get up into the Castle Age. And knowing that my opponent is on 2 town centers and is in the Song Dynasty, it couldn't hurt to grab another town center. Like the vision that we've got from all these outposts, this scout, and keeping this villager in the back. Wow, we've even put a lumber camp down. I really like the vision. I basically get to see everything, including his army composition. He should probably keep these units maybe further up or just out of vision, maybe in these stealth forests over here. But he shouldn't let me have just vision of him. Okay, good. We're repositioning the scout. I think we're going to check the center. We're worried he might have put outposts down through the center. And we're expanding to nearby resources. We went for the nearby berry patches. I particularly liked this one, since after the berry patch is done, we can move on to these deer. Production-wise, it's mostly camel archers and horsemen. Camel archers will reduce the horseman damage, and the horsemen will be good against the Zhugnu. We can make spearmen, but they're only so effective against these Zhugnu. And he's wisely using battering rams to tear down my outposts. It's the smart move. But it's buying me lots of time. You can see my opponent's current resources. He's way too heavy into wood. I think he's going to make a transition to granaries and farms. That said, he could go for easier food sources like these berries here. Maybe like a granary here, farms surrounding it, and villagers gathering from these berry bushes. I think that could be good. Let's see. It looks like I'm trying to scout out more of the map. And it looks like I've put these units on a patrol. There's a lot of resources down here. You'll notice that in the pit, there's a large gold and stone in a pretty defensible corners of the map. So the top and bottom, you can see if you wall this, you can pretty much gather from those 2 sources as much as you'd like. So I'm going to patrol this because I don't want him to have access to this. I like that we've kind of pushed him into this corner, which is a bit more sparse when it comes to resources. There's that transition to granary, but I mean, go for the berries. They're right there. It'll save you some wood. We're almost to the Castle Age. We've gone the culture wing. We're going to grab preservation of knowledge. And thankfully, we've got a blacksmith. It's actually already pumping out upgrades. We maybe could have waited. I mean, we just clicked these. It takes no time for preservation of knowledge to finish. And then we can queue up those upgrades again for a lot cheaper. But we're actually looking pretty good on upgrades. I didn't realize that we already have ranged armor 1. We already have melee attack 1. I don't know if my opponent has a blacksmith just yet. We can try to find... we'd like to get vision of some of his military units, but I don't think we're going to get it. Here I see the ram coming from my outpost, so I'm actually just going to send 1 horseman out to try and put a stop to the ram. And wait until you see how much damage these horsemen do to rams. I mean, this is just 1 horseman attacking a maybe 80, 90% health ram. So it charges every spear attack. Look at how much it's doing. It's doing about 20 damage per hit. Just with 1, it's just chunking it down. We're attempting to come forward with outposts. I like this. We're putting spring-ald emplacements on them. Spring-ald emplacements got a slight nerf in the update. So in this new patch, they do a little bit less damage. They fire more frequently, but do a little less damage. Overall, they do less DPS, like they don't do as much damage over time. But it also makes them less effective against high armor targets. Although it's dealing like a huge amount of damage. 40 attack. Oof. We're going to harass a little bit. I like the units I chose for the harassment. These camel archers and this lancer, they're very mobile units. And there we find the blacksmith. Oh yeah, he had to have had a blacksmith because he did go that siege engineering to build those rams. There's the Jugnu, dealing good damage, but we're building a mangonel because we know that he has to, if he's going to keep making Jugnu, we can just attack them with the mangonel here. In fact, here I think is the first. Yeah, we're going to deploy it, and it deals massive damage to those archers. That's huge. Love the vision we're getting from these outposts and building this mosque right here near these two relics. Like, I'm just microing my imam around. We'll probably grab that sacred site soon enough. We've walled off the corner. Looks like these villagers are a little confused. But I like that we've secured this. These villagers are going to be mining the rest of the game. Still patrolling here, looking good. Just kind of watching this wood line over here, but it seems like he's completely transitioned to over here. He's got gold here, stone back here, a ton of farms and granaries back here for his food, and his wood lines over here. So gold he's going to be a little thin on, but he can still produce quite an army. And so we're going to need to put some pressure on. We're going to use the mangonels to just kind of tickle at his buildings. You can see the mangonel, it's okay versus buildings. I don't hate it. But we're probably planning on getting, yeah, a trebuchet out. Trebuchets against these secondary town centers are very strong. We're going to tear that down in no time. And it's nice knocking out the villages. They provide a lot of population, so he can easily get supply blocked. I like this big wall off on the side of the map. Looks like it might not even be quite a full wall off, but I like the idea. Trebuchet's going to work on the town center. You can see that was probably just one shot. Oh, it does so much damage. Now we're capturing the sacred site with our third relic in hand. Mangonel's working on this outpost. Love that. Always have those siege weapons firing. And we're just going to send small units forward. We just want to see his army come out. Still Jugnu, still a few horsemen. Oh, he's starting to make lancers. So I need to make a transition over to more spearmen. And yeah, I get the upgrade to veterancy for my spearmen. That's a good upgrade to grab. We have a decent amount mixed in, but we could probably use more. And his second down center is down. We should probably move on to this juicy clump of buildings, but instead I'm just going to start targeting his main town center. If we can just cut off his villager production, I think that'll be really effective. And I'd love to see maybe an outpost put down right here, just to provide vision for this trebuchet. And you can see siege are still somewhat effective against all these buildings and units. Like, I know there were a lot of nerfs to siege, but it's looking pretty effective. Over here, oh, we found his villagers when he tried to transition over to this gold. That's why we had this patrol route going on with our units. We've probably, it looks like we killed maybe 3 villagers over there, and now he has no gold income. The only reason he's over there is because this one must have emptied out. So now the pressure's on. He probably has no gold income. Well, looks like he has a little bit because of his tax collectors, but it's going to zero out pretty soon. We're engaging on his lancers. These lancers are very tanky. I'm glad we have the crossbowmen here, but I don't like this. My units are not dealing enough damage. Oh, and here they come for my siege units. Look how fast the siege dies. But the important thing here is that they've already paid for themselves, and he's taking crossbow fire as he's sending these lancers in. So he is going to lose. I mean, we chunked a lot of their health there. Now we can just keep coming forward. We'll make more. We'll just keep making mangonels. And we've already chunked the town center down a lot, so we're just going to move in on it. I like that these spring alds are protected by my troops back here, but it's looking like this might be good game for my opponent. We just did so much economic damage taking out that second town center, killing villagers at this wood line, and denying him over here. I think he made a pretty late transition to food, but otherwise I think he was starting to figure out what he needed to do. Hope you liked checking out the new map, the pit, and hope you can make it for the next game. Probably more placement matches coming your way. Let's find out what rank I am at the end. All right, catch you next time.